Business on Purpose podcast.
A friend of mine was recently on a virtual call, on an online call in a small mastermind group where Seth Godin was an invited visitor, and somebody asked him, what things do we need to be prioritizing in teaching our children? And his answer, I did not hear it, but their paraphrase to me was pretty straightforward, very simple. Two things: leadership and solving problems. Hey, it's Scott Beebe with the Business on Purpose podcast. Our goal, for you to be liberated from the chaos of working in your business and for us to help deliver life into your world. How do we teach leadership? How do we teach problem solving? Those were the two questions that I asked in my head as soon as I had my friend tell me what Seth Godin's simplistic response was. I can teach coding. I can't. I don't know how to code, but somebody else could teach you how to code. I could teach you how to run payroll. I can teach you how to run wiring for lights on a 1995 Jeep Wrangler. But how do I teach you leadership? How do I teach you how to solve problems? I want to submit to you one way that we can begin to teach those things, and I'll warn you up front that you may not like it. It may feel awkward. It may feel uncomfortable. That's okay. I'm going to ask you to embrace it nonetheless. So here's my response. Role play. That's right, simple role play. I'll never forget, we were in our kitchen, and one of our children really has an aversion to the trash can. That's right, the trash can. And so when trash needs to go into the trash can, this particular child does not like pushing the existing trash that's in the can down to make room for more trash. And what it does is it does not conserve space. It means that our trash bags fill up a lot faster. There's more waste. There's not good efficiency. And quite honestly, it's just frustrating. And so I, every time would open the trash can drawer, would say, oh, it'd be great if somebody could push the trash down and make more room for everybody else. At one point, and again, you may make fun of me for this, but that's okay, I called everybody in and I said, hey, let me do a little tutorial on how we push trash down. And I took an existing piece of trash that did not have gunk on it and used that as somewhat of a glove to push the other trash down. And in such teaching my entire family how we push trash down. It's silly. I did not mean it in a way to exasperate anybody in my family, but simply to create a visual as to how we push the trash down. And so they may not always push the trash down. I may not always push the trash down, but rarely a time goes by that we open the trash can and the trash can door and don't at least think, I should probably push the trash down. For you, as it relates to leadership, if you were to do one little simple exercise and I were to ask you the question, what are the marks of a leader? Just 3 or 4 or 5, you would probably write those things down. Then if I were to ask you, what are the marks of solving problems? Listening really well, step 1. Pausing, step 2, to think about what you just heard. Step 3, maybe writing down 2 or 3 or 4 various potential comebacks to that. Who knows what it might be, and you're going to write down your own things, but when you write those things down, you've essentially created a short curriculum. And in creating that curriculum, how best do you take that curriculum and invest it into somebody else? Role play. That's when you sit down with various situations that have come about, either in real time or you can make them up, and you begin to role play those situations in light of the curriculum that you just wrote out, either in leadership or in problem solving. So why don't we do it? Because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to sit down with grown adults, or it's embarrassing to sit down with teenagers, all of which think they know leadership and think they know problem solving, and to walk through it step by step. What it does take is a massive amount of humility. But if you're willing to have humility, both as the teacher and the student, and many of the times the teacher, we need to become our own students. If you're willing to have humility, what you will ultimately have are the marks of leadership and great problem solving. And small businesses that can own leadership and problem solving will win. They will win market share. They will win culture. They will win new team members who want to work for that business because they realize that in an age where information is very much commoditized, anybody can have access to information now, where it used to be the smart ones had access to information. Now everybody has it. And so really the question is of our culture, can you interpret information in a way that's useful and adds more value to my life? If you can do that, you win me as a customer. Leadership and problem solving help us to do that. So here's the question. Are you willing to ask yourselves the question, what is leadership? What is problem solving? What's the curriculum? And are you willing to have the awkward conversations of actual role play and build that out? mybusinessonpurpose.com/visions, where you can start. We'll see you next time right here on the podcast.